Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. High Priestess coming out on her own there. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a 10 of Wands to go with the other cards that kind of have made their way out of the deck today. I wonder what this card is. I wonder if we should save this for the mystery card. Right? Maybe we should. Maybe we'll do things differently today. We're going to put Bob Ross right there on top. But let's put, now we've got the High Priestess here. We've got the 10 of Wands. Let's put all of this into some context, all right? 4 of Pentacles, a Knight of Wands, a 6 of Swords, and 8 of Wands. A lot of fire here. All right, a lot of fire. We have a lot of ambition, a lot of creativity, a lot of things that we're working on right now. There's the Tower. Interesting. We've got a tower, and we've got this idea here of the horse kind of running away with the rider. I think some of you have a strong connection with horses. Got an 8 of Cups and a Queen of Swords. So there is a lot of clarity being gained. I think that we're really, I think that you've built some walls around yourself in the past, you know, and I think we're really getting out of those now. I think maybe you have felt a little boxed in, or there's part of you that wants to be boxed in, right? That wants to be kind of safe and secure inside these walls, right? Inside a very predictable and stable life. But I feel like your spirit, your soul, your energy is trying to say, no, I don't want to be boxed in. But the boxing in, this is kind of something that I think is unconscious for a lot of us. And this is like the walls around us that protect us from anything that might lead to anxiety. Anxiety is not always bad, not always a bad thing, right? The mystery, we did the mystery card already. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the end. All right. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you feel like you know what that is, put your prediction down in the comments. All right. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Okay. Let's look around the room one more time here. We've got major and major. We got fire, fire, fire. We've got water, water. We've got air and air, and a little bit of earth. And I feel like the earth is being taken out by this tower. And I think this is a good thing. I think this is a breakthrough. It's a creative breakthrough. The High Priestess is here. I love the High Priestess. You're someone with a strong spiritual side. Yeah. Well, you're someone with, you're someone that has a very organized mind. A very logical, but also very intuitive. And I think that really is kind of what all these cards are connected, these three. The Queen of Swords, 6 of Swords, and the High Priestess. The High Priestess is kind of the result of the other two in a way, or the cause of the other two. This is the intuition. And I think the intuition, what it does is it influences our thinking and our feeling, right? Our swords, our Queen of Swords, our 6 of Swords, which are the heart and the mind in alliance, right? Allied. And I think that's a result of this intuition. I think you have a very sharp intuition. I really do. I think that you are, you're someone that takes in, maybe you might even have like a photographic memory. I feel like you take in a lot of energy that you're always observing, even when you aren't really paying attention. you're seeing everything. You're noticing everything. Nothing gets away from you, right? It's like you've got the record button on your mind is just always on. And if it comes into your vision, you're going to remember it, and you'll be able to, the details of it and everything, you know? I'm kind of the opposite way. I don't even remember what color my teacup is now unless I look at it again. That's not quite true. But my point is that you've got this spirit that really absorbs, this mind, this soul that really absorbs everything. Yeah. I think that could sometimes cause a little bit of anxiety. It could be, well, we've got that 10 of Wands. It could be a little overwhelming at times. Right? This fact that you're always receiving. It's like you've got your antenna, your receiver, you know, it's always on. I think you probably have prophetic dreams. I feel like it's always there. It's always on, you know, and I don't know that we really know how to turn it off, or if we desire to turn it off in any way, right? I feel like we do need to spend a little more time in quiet contemplation, in prayer, in meditation, to try to filter out a lot of the extraneous data. You know, you ever notice that if you have been watching a lot of TV, or you've been engaging in a lot of social things, or you've been just reading a lot of different books, and your mind's been very busy, it's a lot more difficult to kind of quiet down and meditate. Sometimes even difficult to sleep, right? Because what the mind has to do when you're trying to sleep or trying to meditate is to kind of detox from all the sense impressions. And that takes time, and the more we've loaded ourselves up, the longer it's going to take to get to that quiet, still state where we can sleep or where we can meditate, you know. So I feel like a lot of this is kind of learning to tune out some things, learning to kind of quiet down some areas of our life so that we have more time for contemplation, for this kind of quiet time. You know, it doesn't have to be inactive either, right? Spend some time with the dog, right? I feel like a lot of you have a dog, right? A companion. And dogs, well, cats too, I guess. We have cats here, but I think dogs and cats are those animals that can just kind of be with you. And it just kind of, they don't always need something. It's just kind of quiet, and there's a reason, I guess, why dogs and cats are kind of like support animals, you know. They have this calming effect on us. When we get along anyway, they do, you know. So take more time for that. Right? Because I feel like you've got a lot of anxiety. You've got, this is all fire, right? All fire. But anxiety is not always bad. Sometimes we think anxiety is like, it's the body's alarm clock, or not alarm clock, alarm system. Because anxiety says, oh, there's danger, we got to do something, you got to move. It's just this loud siren and this flashing light, warning, warning, warning. A lot of the time it's a false alarm. But even in those cases, even if we're not in any immediate danger, we don't need the anxiety right now, right? It's still telling us something. And I think anxiety arose as a response to physical danger, right? The adrenaline, the sweaty palms, right? You're ready to go, heart rate increases, you know. As a response to something immediate in the physical environment. But as we've evolved, I think now that anxiety comes from a danger that's not so apparent, or a problem that's not so immediate and physical, right? And a lot of the time, I think it's from unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled needs, unfulfilled spirit, really, right? So I wonder if some of your dreams lately have been hinting towards something semi-specific? Have they been revealing to you that there is something needed in your life, something that is missing? Well, have they been pointing to this Ace of Cups? Because that might be a result of some of this anxiety. Okay, we've got the Knight of Wands here in the past, and I think that you do keep yourself very busy. I think that you're always on the go. I think that you have a lot of responsibilities, not even responsibilities, a lot of interests, right? A lot of things that you do, and that to me is really kind of the walls around you. I feel like if we're always busy, if we're always taking in things, we're always doing things, then it doesn't feel so much like anxiety, right? It just feels like we're busy. But once we slow down and we start tuning into what the High Priestess is saying, what the dreams are saying, when we try to sit down and meditate, that's when we feel it as anxiety. See, the anxiety, the Eight of Wands here is that anxiety that you feel like, I've got to move. It's the body's alarm system, right? There's danger. You've got to do something. You've got to react. If we're always in that state, right, that's very taxing and very exhausting. A lot of you have probably been feeling a lot of fatigue lately. Maybe even like a general fatigue, maybe even like muscle aches, And I'm no doctor, obviously, but I think a lot of that is energetic. A lot of that is caused by anxiety, or it could be, Get it checked out by a doctor anyway. This feeling that we're always on edge, that we've got to do something. There's something going on right now that I've got to react to. And so we end up just jazz hands all day long, tap dancing in place, burning up a lot of energy, right? And also really kind of exhausting ourselves mentally. Yeah. Exhausting ourselves. But anxiety isn't always bad. There's light and shadow. It can be bad and terrible and terrifying. It can also be useful. You ever get that kind of anxiety, that adrenaline rush when there is actual danger? You ever have like a near miss on the freeway when you're driving your car? That adrenaline, that's anxiety. When you have to slam on your brakes and you're trying to catch your breath now. That feeling that you have, you feel it all over your body. Imagine that all day. Yeah, we don't want that. That would be very, very exhausting. That's an extreme kind of case. But I think what it's teaching you, not that there's any immediate danger in your environment, but there's something that needs responding to in your life. Yeah. And I think it's the Four of Pentacles. I think we've surrounded ourselves with this, what I think is busyness, activity, a lot of action, a lot of movement. Right? I almost feel like you never really slow down. And that, I think, is providing us a sense of security, a sense of stability. Yeah. It almost gives us the illusion of calm, right? Because it's making that anxiety not feel so much like anxiety, but feel like productivity, right? Feel like, I'm not anxious, I'm just busy, I'm doing stuff. And I think this is the tower that we're building around ourselves. Okay. The Six, let's go up this way first. The Six of Swords, this is the mind and the heart that are on the same page. We found order in the chaos now. Now we can kind of understand that all of this chaos of data, this is like this is a haystack of data, of impressions, of mental energy. We're finding what's important. We're finding the meaning. We're understanding what the High Priestess is trying to tell us. And that really is, I think, forcing ourselves to take a moment of quiet, to take a moment of stillness. Sit, relax, don't do anything, just pet your dog. Right? Just, try to be as still and as quiet as possible. And we'll start to see what the message is. We'll start to see what the High Priestess is telling us we really are anxious about. And I think it's this Ace of Cups. Now, we're going to switch over to the path of the Serpent. As I do this, I'd like to ask you for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. And it helps out the channel, right? Leave some comments for me. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you're watching from. Our community here really is worldwide now, and it's fascinating for me to see where all of you are at, you know. I'm in the Chicago area, but there are a lot of people from down under, from New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, the UK, Canada, all over the US. It's really, I love it, and I love all of you, so thank you so much. Okay, moving over now to this Tower card. This really is the freedom. This is the now, almost like we're sitting here with this High Priestess and we're feeling this anxiety. Now it's starting to grow because we've stopped moving, right? Once you stop moving, that's when it's really going to be noticeable. But that anxiety is from this need not to keep your physical body moving nonstop, right? 24 hours a day, you've got something to do. This anxiety is saying that you've got to move in a different direction. You've got to move towards something else. That's why there's anxiety. Okay, we've got to go toward this Ace of Cups. So this is kind of like sitting with that anxiety until we finally have that breakthrough. We have that realization. Yes, that is what gives me, and when you think of this Ace of Cups, whatever that realization might be, whatever the truth is that you see and that you can articulate, we have an eye and a mouth, right? This tower is going to fall, and what we're going to see is the way forward. This is what will give you peace, right? This is what you can move all this fire energy toward. So it's like we kind of need a direction here, rather than just being so busy so as to not have to deal with this. Let's sit down and deal with it and find out. Let's kind of initiate this breakthrough. Let's do the work and discover this Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups might just be an idea of like an unfulfilled dream, desire, a need, an interest, a passion, a sense of purpose or a sense of direction in your life. Maybe you need something that gives you peace, something that maybe it's a deeper spiritual practice, right? Anything like this. But it's in the position of your environment. So to me, it feels like it's a point on the compass. It's one, and if the Eight of Wands is kind of that compass, right? And the Ace of Cups is the direction that we need to go. I think the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Wands, we've been exhausting ourselves, kind of running around in a circle here, where we need to be going this way. Whatever this might be. Maybe this is a romantic relationship. Maybe this is a different kind of career shift. Maybe it's a different study in school. There's something that your unconscious, your spirit and soul is trying to tell you. A deep soul, a cellular desire here, right? And as soon as this tower comes down, we'll be able to see it. And we've built these walls to protect us from the fear and the anxiety that comes with this. So we feel like if we just if we keep busy, if we stay doing what we're doing, then we won't feel this anxiety. The anxiety itself is not dangerous. It's useful. It's telling us that something needs to change. Okay. And again, I have this idea that some of you really want to ride horses. The next card, the Eight of Cups. This is the position of the fear, worry, and concern. It's the obstacle. It's the loss of hope. It's the pessimism. It is the glass being half empty and also having a crack in it and draining away. This is what we're worried about. We're worried about, what I'm doing right now is working. Staying so busy and maybe avoiding some of this stuff, it's working for me. Why am I going to take the Tower down, go after this Ace of Cups, when it might not work? Maybe I'm going to be worse off. You know? And sure, that I understand that. It's working right now. It may not be the healthiest thing. It may not be, exactly like fulfilling every part of your soul, but it's working right now. And hats off to you for finding a way to work it, So it seems like, it's a big risk to go after something else, maybe not knowing what it is yet, not knowing if it's going to work even. Yeah. But I think there comes a time where we've got to kind of rise above everything and put it in perspective. Yeah, this is working, but is it sustainable? How long can we continue doing this, right? Before something starts to break down on its own, before we get too fatigued, too worn out, right? Physically and spiritually. This is the mind that can rise above all of this, and really this is meditation. This is where your mind gets clear, your heart gets clear, and you can just perceive consciousness. You can perceive the self, and you get that's people say, well, I'm going to meditate on it, and to me, in a lot of cases, that really indicates we're going to try to rise above our thoughts and feelings and see things for what they are, to get this kind of bird's eye view of things so that we can see really what it is we're doing. We've got to look at ourselves from outside sometimes. And that's the most difficult thing to do, is to see yourself in the third person, I think that's what's needed right now. I'm going to look at the mystery card. Let's see what that might reveal to us. Thank you, Tiny Bob Ross. I'm going to fix his arm. His arm's all twisted back. There we go. If you have a prediction for this card, please put it down in the comments. And while you're there, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Maybe this should be the unfoldment of the water energy. 9 or a 10 of cups. 9 or a 10 of cups. That's my prediction. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe an Empress. I'd like to see the Empress. Or a 9 or a 10 of cups. Well, let's see what we've got. Well, it's the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. This is, at least we're kind of on the right track here, because we're immersing ourselves in this water energy. We're saying, we don't know what it's going to be like. Maybe this is going to fill our cup up. Maybe it's going to completely drain, and it's going to be worse than before. Right? But I think with the realization that this is not sustainable, right? All this fire right here is not sustainable with this Four of Pentacles. We don't have any choice but to kind of dive into this water and figure out what it is that's missing from our life. What is our soul trying to tell us? What are our dreams trying to tell us? Okay? So the Queen of Cups is very, very deep water. Okay, very, very deep water. I think that's the work. And it's an emotional work. And it's really about being honest with ourselves. This is a card that tries to have some emotional transparency. We're trying to see ourselves all the way down to the bottom, not just the surface level. Right? We got to go deep. What is it that we feel? What is missing? What do we want? Why are we anxious? What is that kind of, the danger, right? What is it that we have to respond to? What is the action that we have to take? Why we feel this way. This is a good confirmation card. And this shows me that we're going to do the work because we know that this fire stuff is not sustainable. It can't continue on like this forever. We've got to do something. We might as well do it now. Yeah. And we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, you can click on the link that's either up here or it's down below in the description box. Sometimes the link doesn't show up there, I've been told. I'm here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. Come back and see me again tomorrow. All right, let's have another conversation. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, totally free. Leave some comments for me. I love reading all the comments. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.